much for stopping by to yet another video with me today. I have an exciting TikTok trend tutorial today that wow, say that 3 times fast. But I have an exciting tutorial today for you guys to try out that has been an upcoming trend on TikTok, which is the Spiral Betty trend. Now, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, I did post a TikTok on this. You can make this into any photo you want, including your own, but please make sure that if you are using a photo that you don't own, you want to make sure that you have the commercial license for that photo. I will explain this further into the video, but that is a big disclaimer that I wanted to make sure you all know. So if you want to see how I made this adorable Spiral Betty t-shirt, please keep watching, give this video a thumbs up while you're here, and click my subscribe button to see more videos like this. Let's get into the video. First, I'm going to have Cricut Design Space ready, then open my browser and type in Spiral Betty and the photo that I want to save. So if you are using your own photo, you can skip this first step, but you have to type in Spiral Betty in Google. So as that's loading, I'm going to open the new tab, and in this case, I typed the Beatles album cover into Google. And again, if you do choose the album cover, this project is for personal use only, which means you cannot sell this for profit. So I chose the photo that I liked the best, and you can either right click to save the picture or take a screenshot by hitting Shift-Command-4 for Mac users. Once you're done, open the Spiral Betty website, which is spiralbetty.com, and upload the image. Adjust the scale of the picture, so if you want it zoomed in or out, just simply drag the circle left or right and click the check mark once you like where it is. It'll automatically populate as a color, so I changed it to black and white for the video purposes, but there are a ton of colors to choose from, as you can see. Now, if you drag the circle to the right, the rings get smaller and the photo is clearer, but if you move it to the left, it's barely recognizable. So I tried to move it somewhere in the middle, because the smaller the rings, the harder it will be for your Cricut to cut the actual rings. I kept the scale the way it was and left the lightness around the middle. I didn't want it too bright or too dark. And then for the contrast, I dragged it more towards the right so you could see the image better. It made it a little bit darker, which makes it more clearer. Once you're ready to save, you'll then click the arrow button on the top right corner and click download. As you can see, if you do decide to put these in your shop for people to customize with their own photos, you will need to contact the email below and click show commercial use. And it's always courteous, of course, to give a donation since you are using the website. Now we can save it to our desktop and upload it to Cricut Design Space. I uploaded it as a complex image and selected the white background to remove that.
I never feel alone.
Then I hit preview just to make sure everything looked good, clicked continue, and make sure to save this as a cut image, because you may think this is a print then cut project, but it is not. So then I'll upload it, and it uploaded pretty big, so I had to adjust the sizing. For my crew neck, I made it about 9 inches. So this part is optional, but I wanted to add the Beatles text to the Spiral Betty image. I simply Googled the Beatles text and saved it, then uploaded it to Cricut Design Space. I basically repeated the same exact steps as I did before when uploading the Spiral Betty. Once it's uploaded, you can either place it on the bottom or the top of the Spiral Betty, but I preferred it in the actual spiral. This will somewhat make it a little bit more difficult to weed, but at the same time easier to weed, if that makes sense, and I'll show you in a bit why. Before I sliced everything, I made a duplicate of the Spiral Betty and the text just in case I messed up, so I would not have to re-upload anything, and then I hid those 2 extra duplicates. I adjusted the size and centered it horizontally before I sliced. If you do need a more detailed video on the slice tool and how to use it, I will definitely insert the card right here for that video. And as you can see, it's sliced in the middle, and I can remove all the items on the left-hand side. And of course, save your project, because you do not want your work to be deleted. Before I get into making the project, I wanted to talk about the HTV vinyl that I'm using today, which is a big thanks to B-Flex. They sent me their B-Flex Gimme5 vinyl as well as some other ones. It's very known for its low temperature, quick application, and durability, which is much different from Caesar Easy Weed, and I'm so excited to show you guys how I applied it. It also doesn't require a Teflon sheet either, which is a great big plus. And this is the chart that it came with, their packaging. And as you can see, there are multiple temperature options, and it lets you know if it's a hot or cold peel. In this case, it is a hot peel since I'm using the Gimme5. And if you open up the brochure a little bit more, these are all of the color options, which again can be found on their website. It also tells you here what settings to use and how to wash your apparel and the best material to use. So in this case, I have the Cricut Maker and I will be setting it to iron on. Now we can click Make It, and I adjusted the spiral Betty to be in the middle of the mat. And you're going to undergo the same exact steps if you are using Caesar EasyWeed HTV Vinyl. You will want to mirror your design. Click Continue, and then of course, as I mentioned before, and I'll put the pop-up right here, I have the Cricut Maker, so I'm setting it to iron on, but if you have the Cricut Explore Air or Air 2, you're going to be using the vinyl setting. The vinyl is definitely thicker than Caesar EasyWeed, as you can see, and I'll be placing it same way, shiny side down on the Cricut mat. I cut it off camera, so I'm just pressing it down on the mat, and then I use my roller tool to adhere it better. And then we can send it into the Cricut. It will take about 10-15 minutes for the Cricut to cut the entire design, so utilize your time instead of watching it cut. I actually made some banana bread in the meantime and posted it on my Instagram story, so if you want to follow me for some updates, definitely check out my Instagram.
Want me to stick around.
When it's done, we are not going to remove the vinyl just yet from the mat, and as you can see, it cut everything beautifully. I'm going to be using B-Flex's weeding tool that they also gave me, and I like how they have the little indent versus the Cricut one. Again, I mentioned this vinyl is very thick, which is why we're keeping our design on the mat. Use a little force to remove it.
'Cause you ought to know nothing about you.
And then find the area where the spiral starts, and as you can see, it's right here on the right hand side. You're going to want to weed the next row, so you're not weeding the actual design, if that makes sense. Some people say it's easier to start in the middle, but that's completely up to you. This part will definitely take some time. Some pieces may fall off if you set your rings to the smaller side, aka the thinner side. So you'll just have to be careful and maybe use the weeding tool a few times. I put music on and took my time with it, and I wish it only took 30 seconds to weed, so enjoy this sped up part.
'Cause you ought to know that nothing about you makes me nervous. I feel right at home. You ought to know nothing about you makes me anxious.
Once you are finished, you'll want to turn the mat over, not completely so it doesn't stick on the table, and then we can remove it from the mat. So you can use your Cricut Easy Press if you have one. I wanted to use my commercial heat press today for this project, which it will be linked in the video description, and I'm setting it to 285 degrees as it says for 4 seconds. You heard me, 4 seconds. I bought this gilding crew neck and heated it up to remove any wrinkles prior to applying. And then off camera, I measured the middle of the shirt and placed it onto the crew neck. As you can see, I applied it for 4 seconds, and I did it one more time for another 4 seconds just because I wanted to be extra careful. Like you can see, I'm hesitant here, but I could have easily removed it. So, but again, I was just being a little paranoid and wanted to make sure. So for this part, to remove it, this is a hot peel, by the way, so immediately when it's off the press, remove the carrier sheet. Hold down your design and apply pressure to the shirt so the vinyl doesn't come up. The vinyl is thoroughly applied into the shirt. I wish I had a close-up of it, but since it's a little bit thicker than EasyWeed, you'll need that pressure when removing the carrier sheet. So see, I'm pressing into the shirt and then removing it carefully. And you are all set with your Spiral Betty crew neck using B-Flex Gimme5 Vinyl. Thank you so much everyone for watching this video. Let me know what you think as always in the comment section below, and if you did try this, please tag me on Instagram. I will put my Instagram somewhere on the screen, and I will see everyone in the next one. Bye!
Ought to know nothing about you makes me nervous.